You know that Herman's now a 5th regular guy?
Oh, congratulations. Hey, Gerald Celente will be, they had trouble with their phone, so.
Okay, well, let's open the email bucket.
Well, he's on now.
Oh, he is on now. Okay.
This
very
bucket
good.
just can't get opened.
I know.
It's like a virgin.
Herman's sitting on it.
Ladies and gentlemen,
that was a good one.
on the phone now from,
good lines.
on the phone now from New York, I think. Trends researcher, Gerald Celente. Ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Celente?
Hello.
Oh, now it's working. Hello, Gerald. How are you, sir?
Hello, regular guys.
Great to have you back on the show.
Thank you.
We're in troubled times, and you kind of tell it like it is so we can make our plans. That's what I like. You don't comfort people falsely. You don't overstate the case.
He doesn't suffer fools gladly.
Mm-hmm.
No, we just try to tell it like it is. It's like getting a diagnosis from a doctor. It's what it is, not what you want it to be.
You're a doctor of America, pretty much.
Well, I don't know about that, but...
I think so.
Well, thanks.
You're dead on accurate, usually. Now, last time you were on, you said that by 2012, there will be looting and rioting in the streets. Do you still stand by that?
Oh, yeah, sure. The systems are breaking down. And you can see what's going on in Greece and other places around Europe. It's just the beginning. The systems are crashing. They've just Europe, China, India, Japan. They're all throwing stimulus money at this to keep the casino going.
Mm-hmm.
But it's starting to run out now. What we're concerned about now in the short term, and we're coming out with the Spring Trends Journal, is that when all else fails, they take you to war. Mm-hmm. You look at the history, the parallel is perfect. The Wall Street wise guys crashed the markets in 1929 for the same game, just a different name.
Right.
And then, of course, we go into very difficult times, and then, bam, there's a war for you. And you go back throughout history over and over and over again, and we're very concerned that they're leading us to war.
You know what? I think you and I probably no bigger one. You and I probably disagree about politics, I would think, but I've always worried since 9/11 that the 00s, the thousands, 2000s would be like the 30s, and then once you got to 2011, 2012, 2013, it would be like the 40s, where you go into all-out, big-time war.
And that's what we think that's where they're leading us right now, and that's what this whole Trends Journal is about. Again, you know, who are these people? I mean, I've narrowed it down to 6 simple words of what's going on in America. It's called Harvard, Princeton, Yale, bullets, bombs, and banks. and that's the game.
Explain that.
Well, and you look at the people running the show, and you go back for the times of World War I, the Great War, the war to end all wars. Who got us into that gem? That was the most unnecessary war of all times. Woodrow Wilson, where did he come from? Oh, he was the president of Princeton. Oh, and what else did he do during that time? Oh, they brought the wonderful Federal Reserve Bank into our lives. You know, it's neither is this Federal Express. You know, it's a bunch of private bankers that are control of the nation's money supply and printing.
Now, Gerald, a lot of people, you know, if you said that in the past, people would think, well, you've got a tinfoil hat on. This sounds like a conspiracy theory. But it's becoming more and more mainstream talk to discuss. In fact, one of the top candidates in 2012, Ron Paul, is one of these guys who wants to investigate the Fed and what's going on. Can you explain to the average person exactly what the Fed does and how it works and why it's screwing everything up?
Yeah, and actually, it's Ron Paul that hit me to it. I didn't know about it until he awoken me to the facts. The Federal Reserve was created in 1913. Article 1, Section 8, Clause 5 of the Constitution clearly states that Congress has the sole power to print and regulate the supply of money. And they turn that over to the Federal Reserve Bank. You go out throughout the whole 1800s, from Jefferson on to Jackson, right through. The big issue was of the times were the central bankers trying to take over the country, and they were fighting against it. Well, now the central bankers have taken over the country. They make it seem as though the Federal Reserve is a quasi-government private organization with arm's length from the government. No, they're not. They're a private group of bankers. They're stockholders. and you look at who's running the country. As I said, this isn't conspiracy theory. Who is the head of the New York Federal Reserve Bank, the president, that is now the Treasury Secretary of the United States, Timothy Geithner? I think you talk about having their hands in the till. You know, they're controlling the rudder.
And beyond that, he didn't pay his own taxes.
Exactly. And then anybody that believes in these people deserves what they get. You go down the line: Pelosi, Frank, Bonner, Bond, Bush, Clinton, Laurel Hardy, Mo, Larry, Curly. It's the same to me.
Right.
And they're looking up to these people. Every time they talk about Larry Summers, who's Obama's chief economics advisor, it's always the brilliant Larry Summers. It's never just Larry Summers. It's always brilliant, and it's one big circle jerk. They're all telling everybody how great they are, and the American people believe it. It's all, look, every time a dignitary, a secretary of this or that goes overseas, they go over in an airplane that you can move a whole city in, they roll out the red carpets, and they strike up the band. Who gets treatment like this? How about going there and just doing some business? Why do we need all this, you know? The reason they do that is to make people think how important they are, how brilliant they are. So what we're looking at now is the economic system is destroyed. There's no way that we're ever going to pay off. We're in debt $43,000 a person. You're not going to pay this money off.
Right.
So what they do, what we're concerned about, and again, we're not Monday morning quarterbacks. For example,
let me ask one question, though. Do we have to pay it all back, or just like, personal debt? As long as you're living within your means, there's some debt that you don't have to pay it off overnight.
No, I think Gerald's saying you're going to have a military-industrial complex, a big war, and we're going to grow our way out of it through war.
We're not going to. That's the whole thing. You don't grow your way out of this one. This is a different game. This is wars of weapons of mass destruction. These aren't, P-52s. This is real stuff. One of my books, Trends 2000, I wrote in the mid-90s. I front-loaded the whole book with the breakup of the former Soviet Union and all of the weapons of mass destruction that were being sold on the black market, suitcase-sized nukes, on and on and on. And this was regular reporting going on, so we just put it all together. So this kind of war is going to be very different. And interestingly enough, we wrote in that book how terrorism changed. And you know who we used as the example? Chechnya.
Yeah.
They were the first ones to break the mold.
They just bombed the Moscow subways. Yeah.
So this is going to go on. People could call it, what happened after 9/11. Why did 9/11 happen? Oh, they hated our freedom and liberty. How about they hated your foreign policy?
Yeah.
Can anybody say that? But you can't say that. You're unpatriotic. Come on, give me a break. You bomb other countries, you kill other people. It's as old as the Old Testament. It's called revenge. So as long as the United States foreign policy, and now under Obama's out, Bush, they're sending Predator drones into Pakistan every day, killing, it's well over 1,000 innocent people already.
Are they innocents, or are they...
No, yeah, and every time you read the headlines, a drone killed suspected terrorists, militants, always suspected militants. What do you mean suspected? Oh, we suspected them. Oh, you did you?
But let me ask you this. As the United States, why is it in our interest to kill innocent people?
It's not the innocent. This is the military. These people are, how many innocent people have been killed?
I don't know.
Whether or not they're doing it intentionally or not, the fact is, you look at the minimal data, in Iraq and Afghanistan and Pakistan, you're looking at well over a couple of 100,000 people.
What used to be called collateral damage.
So do you think
right? Another sanitized name for it. So you put yourself in that place. You live in Pakistan, and there are over 200,000 of them living in the U.S., Pakistanis, and your family was wiped out in the Swat Valley, south and north Waziristan. You think you're angry?
I'd be a little pissed.
Yeah, exactly. So you don't have to belong to an organization, like Al Qaeda or anybody else.
Let me ask you this: Do you think? Are you saying there's going to be some nukes launched on countries? We're
looking at a 9/11 magnitude terror strike in the United States or in Europe in 2010.
This year?
Yes. because of the escalation of these wars. Now, where does this all tie in together? Back to the economy. When 9/11 happened, most people don't remember. I did, because one of the first things I did, I lived north of Ground Zero. I wanted to get out of here if they hit the nuclear power plant at Indian Point, which is 45 miles north. So I called up my bank. I wanted to get my money out of my CDs transferred to my local bank. I couldn't. They closed Wall Street. You couldn't get your money out if you had them in CDs. They're financial instruments traded on Wall Street. We believe that this time, when there's a 9/11